All right, let's talk about it. We're diving into the one question about artificial intelligence that seems to be on everyone's mind, the one that kind of keeps us up at night. It's this massive debate that puts these incredible utopian dreams right up against some pretty scary dystopian fears. And it all comes down to our jobs, our careers, and our livelihoods. So let's just ask it straight up. Is AI coming for your job? Because this isn't some far-off sci-fi movie plot anymore, right? This is happening now. Companies are making huge decisions that are going to shape the workplace for years, maybe decades to come. And the signals we're getting, well, they're all over the place. So on the one hand, you've got this really optimistic take. You hear it a lot from tech leaders, from big consulting firms. They paint this picture of a future with just incredible growth, incredible new opportunities, a world where AI doesn't replace us, it makes us better, it empowers us. But then you spend 5 minutes on an online forum and you find this deep, almost bitter cynicism, a feeling that the real goal of all this automation is just to make human work totally obsolete, to leave us with nothing to do and no way to pay the bills. The gap between these two views is just massive. And maybe that brings us to the most honest answer that a lot of people have right now. We're in this moment of just profound uncertainty. We've never really dealt with a tech shift quite this big or this fast. So how do we even begin to wrap our heads around what's coming? Well, let's try. Let's break down the two main arguments, and we'll start with the one that's fueling all that anxiety. Right, so this is argument one, the job apocalypse. This is the fear that AI is not just another tool. It's a replacement. It's a force that could trigger mass unemployment on a scale we've just never seen before. And for the people who believe this, the evidence is already starting to pile up. Look at this number. This isn't a forecast. This isn't a guess. According to trackers that follow layoffs, this is how many jobs were cut in just the first half of 2025, where AI was named as a reason. 77,999. That works out to almost 500 people losing their jobs every single day. This isn't some future threat. For thousands of people, it's already here. And what's really striking here is who this is affecting. For the longest time, we were told that automation was a threat to blue-collar jobs, on the factory floor. But this wave is crashing right into the heart of the white-collar world. I mean, think about it. At Microsoft, nearly a third of new code is being written by AI. Some companies are replacing whole chunks of their HR departments with AI agents, financial analysis, graphic design, and maybe most concerning of all, entry-level jobs, the very first step on the career ladder. And listen to this warning. It's from Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, one of the biggest AI companies out there. His fear is that if AI automates the way in, how does anyone get the experience they need to move up? It's like trying to climb a staircase, but someone's taken out the first few steps. And this gets to the absolute core of why this is all so scary for so many of us. It's not really an abstract debate about the future of work. Like someone put it online, people aren't afraid of losing their job, they're afraid of losing their income. In our society, for most of us, a job is the only way we get a roof over our heads, food on the table, and healthcare. That's what makes this so personal and so terrifying. Okay. So that is one side of the story, a pretty bleak one. But it's only half the story. So let's flip the coin and look at the other argument. This is the idea that AI, just like every other big technology that came before it, is going to be an engine for creation, not destruction. It's going to unleash a massive productivity boom. So remember that scary layoff number from a minute ago? We'll take a look at this one. The World Economic Forum predicts that while AI will definitely displace some jobs, it's going to create 97 million new ones by 2025. The argument isn't about job loss, it's about a massive job transformation. And the engine behind all that new job creation? It really seems to be productivity. A PwC study from 2025 found this really stark difference. Industries that were least exposed to AI, they grew about 8.5%. But the industries that were most exposed, the ones diving in, a staggering 27% growth. That's more than triple the speed. And the logic is pretty straightforward. More productivity means more value, which leads to more growth, and that ultimately leads to more jobs. So what about the workers in all this? Well, far from being devalued, this data suggests they're becoming more valuable. That same PwC report found that people with specialized AI skills are now earning a 56% wage premium. That's what they're getting paid compared to their peers in the exact same role who don't have those skills. It shows that companies are willing to pay a lot more for people who can actually work with this stuff. And this quote really sums up that whole optimistic argument. It reframes the entire discussion. It's suggesting the goal isn't just to cut costs or, control headcount. The real prize is using AI to augment what we can do, to let us create way more value than we ever could before. But this optimistic view runs headfirst into a very, very popular analogy. Yeah, you've probably heard this one before. It's a really simple but kind of provocative question that gets to the existential fear that AI poses to us as human workers. The logic is pretty simple, right? For centuries, horses were absolutely essential. Transportation, farming, you name it. And then the car came along. And the thing is, the horses didn't get retrained for new jobs in the automobile industry. The market for what they did just collapsed. It imploded. So the question is, are we about to have our automobile moment? And man, the debate over this one is fierce. On one side, you have people saying the analogy is just broken. As one person put it, horses didn't create cars. We're the ones creating AI. We're the farmers with a new tractor, not the horses being replaced. But the other side says that completely misses the point. It's like saying, don't worry, cars will create more jobs for horses. It's absurd. They believe the end result is the same. A superior technology makes an entire class of labor obsolete. History, though, gives us a pretty powerful counterargument. Every single major technological revolution destroyed old jobs, but it always ended up creating more new ones in its place. And usually, jobs nobody could have even imagined. I mean, could you explain the job of a digital marketer or an e-commerce specialist to someone in the 1980s? The fact that we can't name all the new jobs of 2040 doesn't mean they're not coming. So, where does that leave us? We have the apocalypse on one side and the boom on the other. Maybe the real answer isn't one or the other. Maybe it's something more nuanced. Maybe it's about a fundamental redefinition of what work even means. And this is the key concept you're going to hear again and again: augmentation. The idea is to stop thinking about what AI can do instead of us and start thinking about what we can achieve with AI. It's about a partnership, a collaboration between human intelligence and machine intelligence. Because for all its power, AI is basically a superpowered calculator, not a wise mentor. It doesn't have our context, it doesn't have our ethical framework or our strategic judgment. An AI can analyze 1 million data points, but it takes a human to know which data points matter and what to do about them. We're still the ones in the driver's seat. And this means the skills that are going to be most valuable are changing. It's less about what you can memorize and more about how you think. It's all about these uniquely human abilities: critical thinking to guide the AI, data literacy to understand its output, creative problem solving to apply its power in new ways. And of course, you still need emotional intelligence to lead people, and you have to master the tools themselves. I absolutely love this metaphor. Think about Tony Stark and the Iron Man suit. The technology, the suit, it gives him incredible, superhuman abilities. But it's the person inside, with his creativity, his intuition, his judgment, who actually directs that power and makes the heroic difference. That's our relationship with AI. And that brings us to the final idea. Maybe we've been asking the wrong question this whole time. Maybe it isn't, will AI replace us? The future of work isn't something that's just going to happen to us. This isn't just about adapting. It's about building. The debate isn't really fear versus hope. It's about agency. So the real question is, what kind of future do we want to build with this thing? That's all for this explainer. Thanks for joining me.